Hey, gymnastics moms. In the middle of meet season, does your gymnast start really thinking negatively, not believing in herself? If so, we've got something for you today to help her start training her brain now for meet season. Welcome to Mindset for Moms, where we help moms develop happy, healthy gymnasts who know how to win. So, in the month of November, we love to prepare their brains for meet season. We don't want to wait until meet season starts. We want to help them now. So, in the month of November, inside of our program, every single week we work on a mental routine skill and we build them so that by the end of the month, they're putting together a mental routine that they can use every day in practice and at a meet in order to keep their mind focused and sharp and tight. And today we're going to talk about affirmations. Affirmations are something that's really common in the sports world and in our world in general. But one of the biggest areas that people get tripped up on using affirmations is when they try to use an affirmation that they don't believe. So, for instance, your gymnast is going to say all the time, I've got this. I've done it a million times in practice. I can do it in competition. But if her brain doesn't believe it, it doesn't feel good and it doesn't actually power her to her best gymnastics. In fact, it's going to have that opposite effect. It's going to make her feel doubtful and frustrated and, you know, nervous and all of those things. And so, what we actually love to work on with gymnasts is creating affirmations for every single event that they actually believe and that helps them kind of think of, you know, what they want to feel like for that event. So, for instance, like you may not want to feel excited and powerful and explosive on beam. So, an affirmation of like, I can stay calm and relaxed when I do beam in a competition might be more helpful, or I can focus in any in any setting when I'm on beam. I can focus on my keywords anytime, anywhere. I am a good competitor. Um, but like on vault, you might want that explosive power. Like, I am powerful. I am strong. I am a great vaulter. I have an amazing run. I can flip anytime. And those kinds of things that really build them up. When they work to find really specific affirmations that work on each event, that will help power their brain to what they want to be believing. And then they can work on practicing that affirmation all the time. And so we love to have them like write it on the mirror and a dry erase marker on the mirror, or post-its everywhere, put it on the screensaver on your phone. Screensavers on phone is amazing. I mean, how many times a day do they look at that phone? So if they're and those can be great for ones they're trying to believe that maybe they don't yet believe, like, I am an incredible dancer, I can perform with enthusiasm. Those kinds of affirmations that they're trying to work on believing might also be helpful. But one of the things we really stress inside of our program is that the reason we spend all summer really learning how to do the mindset work and how to rewire brains into positive thinking is that then we get to this place where we're working on affirmations and we know what kinds of thoughts are not helpful and don't actually work for us, and what kinds of thoughts do. So if you are wanting to help your gymnast with affirmations, or even just encourage her, um you know encourage her with ones that feel realistic and that are specific, like things that are specific about her. Maybe she's a really strong gymnast. Maybe she's really flexible. Maybe she has a lot of rhythm and artistry. Maybe she's great on beam. Whatever those might be, like, really help her focus in on ones that feel true and maybe repeat those to her. I know that you are. I know that you are. Actually, once I saw this like silly little reel or whatever. It was talking about a girl was talking about how her mom used to always be like, anytime her mom would be like, Oh yeah, I have the best kids. They are so well behaved. They always are responsible. And she would just always talk really well about her kids to like other parents or, anytime her kids were listening, she just would constantly be like talking about them in these affirming ways. And the girl talked about how much that really psychologically made her believe that that's what was true about her. And she's like, my parents' friends would be like, oh my gosh, my kid is terrible. She never listens. She won't do her homework, and like talking negatively about them all the time. And like, versus her mom would just always be like affirming her all the time, and not affirming like she did something bad and then she'd be like, oh, you're so great. But just, she just talked about her kids all the way that time. It is amazing the psychology when you begin to say I am statements, I am, um, how that helps your brain believe that it's true. So I just said two different things. At the beginning, I talked about how they have to believe it in order for it to be effective. And then I just said they can use it to believe it. And both are true. When they're trying to use it in the moment, like at a meet or in practice, it needs to be an affirmation that they already believe. Trying to use an affirmation at a meet or in practice that they don't believe yet is not going to help or fuel them to what they want. But they can use affirmations again and again and again to help their brain begin to believe it. So this is where I said the post-it notes and the write it up on the wall. If they don't believe it yet, they want to practice believing it, practice thinking it, creating that neural pathway that thought process that says this affirmation is true. But then they only want to use ones that they actually believe to try to power them in practice and in competition. So I hope that helps with affirmations and how we use them inside of our program. We get a lot of really specific ones, again, about their each event, about how they want to feel, about what they believe about themselves. And so using affirmations powerfully really puts together your brain. Now, like I said, we're going to put this together. So make sure you watch all the videos in this month because we're going to put it together at the end of the month for a great meet mindset. Also, this time of year, we love to do free parent trainings around preparing for meet season. So be on the lookout. Make sure you sign up for those. We are going to give you the goods to help your gymnast get set up for a successful meet season. See you soon.